regarding overcoming stereotypes and conflicts and establishing dialogue with the youth community in Ukraine. And the speakers are Ludmila Kudinova, head of the NGO Youth Alternative, and Natalia Volosova, who is the PR manager at this NGO. Hello, I'm Ludmila Kudinova. We represent the Youth Alternative, Molodizhna alternatyva NGO, and for half a year we've been working with the project Unity in Diversity, the overcoming of stereotypes between the youth of the east and west of Ukraine, and Natalia will tell us more. We all know that it's better to once see than 100 times hear. That's why we invited the youth from the east of Ukraine so that they go to the west and see whether there are really stereotypes that we talk so much about. So the aim of our project is the renation of stereotypes and the dialogue between east and west of Ukraine, and the formation of the space where young people may hear each other. And also we want our youth to exchange experience in public work. There were 8 trips during the project, and those were the series of 3-day seminars and interactive trainings with the use of novel methodology in education and so on. Young people of Kherson, Dnipropetrovsk, Kharkiv, Mykolaiv, and Donetsk and Luhansk regions could participate, which means east and south of Ukraine. So we held 8 trips to Lviv, Kamyanets-Podilsky, Uzhhorod, Rivne, Ternopil, Lutsk, also Ivano-Frankivsk. We met representatives of authorities. We talked about whether the stereotypes really exist, and deputy mayors and mayors of these Western regions said that this problem should be discussed and achieve the situation when there is no such a problem. We should not divide Ukraine into different regions, but we are all together, we're all united, although we are different, and the truth is being born in the dialogue. So we were producing some recommendations that later were sent to representatives of these regions, of people from local authorities. As a result, we held a summing up conference on the 24th and 26th of June, where we gathered the most active participants in this event. In reality, stereotypes are here, and of course there is a language stereotype and the stereotype about the development of east and west in different directions. Also stereotypes about historical events and historical figures. And we saw that the young people who came to take part, although they were talking about the fact that there are no stereotypes, but still they were trying to find those stereotypes. And we, for instance, talked to girls from Zaporizhia, and we were asking whether they liked everything in the trip, and they said that yes, we did like everything, but when they were going here, they still expected that they would meet resistance while speaking Russian, resistance from local people. So unconsciously, they are still looking for stereotypes, and we have to overcome those trends. During the trip to Kyiv, we said, we were talking about that it would be right when talking to our ministries of education and culture, sports and youth, to work out the paradigm how to overcome these stereotypes. So we have some suggestions that we have to talk about, to discuss with the participants over the next 2 weeks, and then to send to the ministries. We did meet representatives of the ministries during the trip, and the young people did voice their proposals and suggestions. And it is necessary that the young people are involved in a more active way in working out cultural and youth policy. It is necessary that the authorities initiate and launch the holding of such events, that they pay for this, that this is not staged at the expense of donor organizations, and we should have student exchange programs, for instance, from Lviv to Odessa and vice versa. There should be a discount system for such trips. There's a lot of such things that we do understand, but we not always underline and emphasize these things. We do hope that with time, if there's a constant dialogue between youth and mutual understanding, then there won't be problems that are there now between the east and the west of Ukraine. But of course this will take more than one trip. We will have to spend several years to do this and apply more effort. Besides, a lot of our participants were not just student youth, but also our teachers, and a professor from Mariupol, for instance, she launched trips to Lviv, so they try to look for opportunities themselves and to arrange with their institutions or universities to work further in these directions. Thank you very much. Any questions? Kristina Chukmakina, Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. Several questions. For instance, was it a one-time project, or are you going to launch regular exchanges like this? And if it goes on, do you plan to involve central regions, or just work with the extremities, east and west? But what should the center do? And then I'll ask another question. As this project was affected at the donor's expense, we think that this British organization will support us next year as well. This was, of course, a pilot project, and we concentrated on eastern and western regions where the conflicts and stereotypes are more pronounced than in central of Ukraine. Of course, it would be correct to involve the center of the country as well, but the matter is that a lot of people from eastern Ukraine have moved to western Ukraine. Why am I asking about this? It looks like if we take care of east and west, then the center is sort of indifferent here, and it looks like for Kirovohrad, Cherkasy, or other regions, it's Chernihiv, Sumy, it's not topical. Look, we have just presented the project that concerns the major problems that there are in Ukraine, but apart from this project, we do realize a number of projects connected to the internship of students with different bodies of power, and we do conduct trainings for them, and students from central Ukraine do take part in those, but this one was more concerned with eastern and western regions, which are, we think, more urgent at the moment, that they do not communicate enough. What's the number of the participants? How did you select them? And you said that there were meetings with authorities. What did they do apart from this? Well, there were more than 500 participants, but we also demanded that participants make presentations at their universities and communities about this project, what they learned, what they have got to know. So, in fact, the involvement was much bigger than 500 people. They were filling special questionnaires, and on the basis of filling those questionnaires, we selected participants. Plus, there was a age limitation because we accepted only young people up to 28 years of age, so that we involve more students. And of course, we were concerned with the specific features of the regions. For instance, in Kamyanets-Podilsky there were excursions and trainings. Of course, in Ivano-Frankivsk they went to the Museum of Liberation Struggle named after Stepan Bandera. In Kamyanets-Podilsky they went to the castle, and there was an entire day fully devoted to excursions, so that the students see what the cultural wealth and other wealths of these western regions are. This project and the recommendations, can you get acquainted with the recommendations, for instance, in an electronic version? We're working on it now, so within 2 weeks we will produce specific recommendations that will be sent to corresponding ministries. At the moment, we've gathered proposals and suggestions from all the participants. Maybe we'll discuss it among the participants, and then we'll send it to the ministries, and of course we'll send this document to you. Another question from the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center: 500 participants, 500 students, or also with teachers? These are those people who went on trips. If you launch this program again, where they can see the forms that they have to fill in, we launched ads through local organizations and local mass media. When the next project will start, we'll do the same. We also will contact the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. Can you name the site? How we? So it's ya.org.ua, and our Facebook page is Molodizhna alternatyva. There's also a page which is called Unity in Diversity, and of course you can find us through our organization's page. No other questions. Thank you very much. Wish you every success, and our next president